Ooh. I'm not sure why it sounds like that, but okay. Bonjour to Among, it is I, Rubbing RX, and welcome to not welcome back, but welcome to a video where I will kind of be talking about what happened to this playthrough. So, I honestly don't really remember the exact logistics of it, but I do remember during this playthrough, I ended up getting like really depressed for no reason. It just, I don't know. I recorded a lot of the Let's Play, more than what was actually uploaded. Like, quite a bit more. But I was having recording issues for the first time with this system, trying to still figure that kind of stuff out, figure out how to fix that. And I just ended up not really wanting to continue on with it. I had a lot of lost footage I would have had to figure things out with, and I was just really depressed for some reason around the time. But what I do want to do is talk about the story of Pikmin 2. Since I'm probably not going to finish it, I may come back to it at some point in the future, but for now, I'm not going to finish it. So, basically, after you pay off the debt, which I'll show some footage of here, Louie gets left behind. And, you go back, and you go back, there's a bunch of footage of Louie just kind of living in the world. And once you get back to Planet Hokotate, which you can see here, the president will actually decide to come with you. And here's a little bit of that footage too. You unlock a fourth area, the one based on Autumn. And you just keep collecting treasures. There's no time limit, there's no goal, you're just looking for Louie. There is a very specific final dungeon that has the final boss in it. And let me head back to the menu now and pull up my old file. Like not the one we played, but my like super old file. Yeah, my day 19, my 201 treasure file. Kind of show some of this stuff off that we never got to see. So yes, the Wistful Wild is the new area. Actually it has very few dungeons in it, but the whole of here, Dream Den, I don't remember. Your final boss is the Titan Dweevil. Dweevil is a very common thing in this game, and Dweevils kind of were like Bulborgs were the big thing last time. This one's Dweevils. So this is the Titan Dweevil. It has this, and it had the last few treasures on it. I'll go into those treasures in a bit. Titan Dweevil. The largest member of the Dweevil family, this fearsome predator carries protective components that frequently exhibit offensive capabilities, evolution that may be attributed to mere chance, and other evolutionary theories that the chemical contents of this containers carried by Titan Dweevils contribute to possible gene splicing. While other Dweevils do not seem to choose objects they carry, the Titan Dweevil appears to prefer shiny objects above all others. Eaten raw, this predator's luxurious legs are bold and full flavored, with a satisfying crunch. I believe this is the final boss. So all of these treasures I have completed, because I haven't been in here since I beat the game, obviously. Space Love Series. Dream Series. Blast from the Past Series. Massive Receptacle Series. Ancient Ad Series. Odd Logo Series. The Titan Dweevil Series. Alright, so he carries these treasures. There is the Shock Therapist. This is an electric attack that goes around the entire field. Now, if you remember in this game, electricity is instant death to all Pikmin except yellow Pikmin, whereas all the other hazards are temporary. You want to just use yellow Pikmin for this fight, because if you hit the Shock Therapist with the yellow Pikmin, doesn't matter. This shocker was one of several weapons wielded by the Nightmare's Titan Dweevil. It allowed the creature to smite Pikmin with zaps of lightning. This nanotech device gathers negative ions in the atmosphere and converts them into energy. Then it releases that energy zap. Use it to relieve muscle soreness and joint stress. Warning, however, it does render the user unconscious. Oh, shoot. Then we have the Flare Cannon. This is just a fire attack. It shoots a little bit in front of it, but you can whistle the Pikmin to not let them burn. Scorching mechanism used by the monster Titan. The roasting apparatus spews hot jets of flame. I can't keep Louie away from it. He keeps trying to use it to cook sausages and caramelized creme brulees. In case you wonder, it cannot be used as a substitute for spaceships, rockets, and should never be used to cook sausages, never. The Comedy Bomb. This is a poison attack that just spews poison, which again, you can just whistle Pikmin. Although it was once a primitive chemical weapon, it is now a weapon of mass hilarity. So yeah, it was changed to laughing gas. Then we have the Monstrous Pump, which just gives them that weird bubble status. Just whistle them. The only thing you can't whistle away is the Shock Therapist. Savage Water Pump, my main weapons. This pump is capable of spraying jets of high pressurized water. Now the interesting thing about this is this final treasure, 201, the King of Bugs. Louie was... You go into the final room of the dungeon. Louie is just sitting there. You walk up to the Louie, and the Titan Dweevil comes up from underneath him. He is sitting on top of the Titan Dweevil during the entire fight. Louie is back. Somehow he survived the horrific ordeal with the freakishly large, weapon-wielding Titan Dweevil. I enter a hole with an army of ferocious Pikmin, grimly determined to save Louie from the Titan Dweevil, but it seems that he was perfectly fine all along. I can't understand how he managed to avoid being eaten. He's always had an unusually close connection with insects, and I know he does love to cook them. Maybe he wasn't kidnapped after all. Could he have been controlling that beast all along? No, that's craziest. Although he does insist that we address him by his proper title, the King of Bugs. It's very implied Louie is technically the final boss controlling the Titan Dweevil. After he was kidnapped, he somehow managed to hijack a colossal insect's brain. He did not want to be rescued. Now just a few other random things I want to talk about that we never got to see. This dumbbell, weight 1,000. That's how many Pikmin are required to carry it. This here takes Doomsday Apparatus. This takes 100 purple Pikmin to carry, and even if they're flowered, it still takes like almost a quarter of the day because of how slow purple Pikmin are. And then there was one other thing. Oh, I want to show you this enemy. The Water Wraith. There is a dungeon that can only be entered with blue Pikmin. That dungeon has all hazards. Electricity, fire, water, poison, but you can only enter it with blue Pikmin. You do get Bulbmin within it, which I don't know if we saw Bulbmin in the playthrough. You can't. Every floor, after a certain amount of time, this thing falls from the sky and chases you. It's homing. It is instant kill to all your Pikmin. The only way you beat it is on the final floor of the dungeon. You can exchange for purple, and they're afraid of the thump that purple makes, making it visible. It's said by the ship that its material form is on a different plane or something like that, and the scare brings them into this plane. All that is known about this creature stems a few signs deep underground. Our reporting sign features same core set, a giant viscous form with a clear hazy sheen, not unlike hard candy. One theory holds that it may the ectoplasm impregnation of some psychic phenomenon, but as is usually the case with such theories, it is very difficult to prove. All witness reports being suddenly overcome with fear upon sighting the creature, approaching a state of panicking and insanity. In fact, every report contains an inordinate amount of extremely vague details, which is led sufficient that the exhausting fear of causing simple natural phenomenon to be viewed as a living creature. I apparently did very well, only lost 3 Pikmin to it. How many did I list to the Titan's Weevil? 0? 14 to that. Okay. Where's the man with legs? I don't know if we fought this. 9 Pikmin. I had to reset on this boss so many times during my original playthrough, during the YouTube playthrough. The Bulbmin, let me find them. There's some weird Bulborb Pikmin thing. You get to keep their children. You don't want to go into that dungeon where you only bring water Pikmin with a full squad, because these can have up to 10, but they won't obviously max you out. You kill the mommy, and you get those Bulbmin. They're immune to all statuses. Usually in that dungeon, you'll probably change your Bulbmin into the Pikmin to kind of save them, into the purple Pikmin. Yeah, it's a Pikmin-infected Bulborb. Very similar to, like, Cordyceps and stuff. But yeah, that is... The reason I wanted to go over this is because my next Let's Play is actually going to be Pikmin 3 Deluxe. I wanted to do it. I loved this game a lot. I wish I could play more. I may some point. I'm just not in the mood to replay it, re-upload it, re-edit it, or go through what I currently have and try to fix it. But this is just kind of the story playthrough, story going through of what you, of what you'll miss going into Pikmin 3. Now, technically you don't really need this, but I still wanted to go over it. So I will see you all for that. Au revoir.